Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Let's just check that we are live and direct, and that we are live on the web. And yes, it definitely looks like we are. So welcome back to another stream. Welcome back to another FL Studio stream. Today I'm showing you my most recent remix that I am more than happy with. This is a song that I've wanted to remix for I don't even know how long, and it's one of my all-time favourites, like house tunes from kind of like that sort of like noughties sort of funky house classic extended club mix sort of house era. So I'm talking like Head Candy, Ministry of Sound, you know, the likes of like Eric Prydz, Call on Me, the likes of Tom Novi, Your Body, Deepest Blue, you know, Chanel, My Life, all them kind of era tunes. And there was a song by an artist who you'll probably know for his track called Needing You in the 90s, I think 1998 it was, which was an absolute hit as far as a track goes. And then in the 2000s he did a tune called How Would You Feel, and the tune also features on Grand Theft Auto episodes from Liberty City, The Ballad of Gay Tony, which, if you've not played that game, it's about a guy called Gay Tony who runs a nightclub, and you do some like dodgy work for him. And the whole sort of like, you know, Grand Theft Auto 4, that sort of DLC was sort of around that sort of like that nightclub era, and it was obviously at the time it was set at I think sort of 2008 2009, so all them club tunes you know, absolutely getting blasted out in the clubs, and that was sort of what the game was sort of focused around, and it was one of my all-time favourite you know, Grand Theft Auto radio stations, Vladivostok FM, which was where a guy called DJ Paul jumps in the guest mix, and the first track is actually the one entitled How Would You Feel, from David Morales. So that also was another reason why I was like so into the tune as well. And essentially I've finally got round to doing a remix of it, and I say like got round to it. The only reason I suppose I've got round to it is because I actually managed to get some stems that actually give me a vocal that was like clean enough to work with, because I've used the likes of this vocal, like tried to get this vocal before, and it just has never sounded like clear enough, and it's never sounded good enough, and this one just sounds really good. So I'm going to play you the track in a minute, and the vibe I've obviously done a bounce remix of it, but I've still kind of kept sort of like house sort of vibe to it, and a real like happy sort of like feel good piano feel to it, and it just kind of, you know, it's not like a real heavy, you know, like a real heavy pure donk track. It's like just a real nice sort of like summery bounce, happy piano. You know, like I say, it still has a real good house feel to it. So what I'm going to do is going to give you a little preview of the track, like I always do, if you've not watched any of these before, and then I'll talk about like some of the elements and some of the features that I've used, you know, within the track, and I'll talk a little bit about how this track has come together. So let me know what you think.
If it was truly love.
and we're gonna leave it there. It just sort of you know, there's like literally like just like this little section here, like this, and then you know, like a repeat of the chorus, and then just a, and then it just goes into the obviously the outro for the end of the track. So I really like the track. It's got a really good just like a real happy feel to it, and the original always gave me a happy feel. So I knew when I wanted to do the track, like even originally before I could even get a clean vocal, you know, or a clean air vocal, I knew that I wanted to, you know, that if I was ever going to remix this or tackle this, that I wanted to give it that sort of happy, that housey vibe, as opposed to going into like a heavy donk track or having some build up with a big drop. I knew that that I wanted to keep that sort of like original sort of like happy piano vibe, and that is obviously what I've aimed and gone for. So what elements have I added in the track? So obviously you've got your normal like, you know, kicks and hi-hats and claps and snares and crashes. The bass has a little bit of a nice feel to it, so it actually is a little bit of a heavier donk bass. It's got a little bit of a like almost like a bit of a scouse feel to it, but it sounds good in the track, like. So like when it almost first comes in, it almost does sound like something that's going to be quite heavy and something that's going to be quite banging, but then it just kind of like almost transforms into this like real nice sort of like house tune. So I had with the bass pattern, this is kind of sort of how the bass goes in the original. So I actually sampled. You can see actually over here. I actually when I made the stems, I actually got this this little bass, sort of like MIDI, because you can cut MIDIs out of the samples. So essentially, cutting the story short, I got this like I cut a MIDI out and it tried to make a bass MIDI, and it wasn't perfect, but it gave me sort of like an understanding, sort of at least of the key, and this is what it originally sounds like. So I knew that obviously like it somewhat, you know, needed to go a little bit like a little bit better than that. So like especially if we go like here, so you can. So I knew that it had to sort of like. So I knew that it had to go like that, and I knew it was obviously in. I knew it like obviously started on that like that D minor. So all I just essentially did was just move it up, so it's still on the D minor, but it's obviously on the it's on D minor 4 instead of something like D minor 2, which I think it was here, like. So it's actually now here, like. But yeah, essentially, so I did that, and then actually on the breakdown, so when I made the stems, you can actually you can you can download normal stems, and you can download like all the stems in MIDIs as well. So one of the things that actually came up was actually the bass. So like on the normal stems, you could actually like get a stem of the bass on its own. So obviously I thought, well, you know, I'm not doing a house track, but this might sound quite good for the breakdown. So I chopped and cut it up and stretched it in time, and it sounds like this. And obviously you can tell when it's like raw on its own. you can tell that there's like, you can hear like little sounds in the background. But when you play it like on its own like this, like, it just gives like a real tiny little like bass in the background, and it just sounds good. So one of the other things I did was I actually I couldn't for whatever reason I couldn't get the chords out of the MIDI when I extracted the stems. For some reason it just didn't sound that good. So I went through and had a little bit of a listen and tried to recreate the chords, and I actually surprised myself, because I think I pretty much more or less got them. So I was like quite happy with that. So that was a good thing up in itself. And then I just copy and pasted the chords, and I put like this little synth sound over them. So that sounds obviously quite good. And then there's this one here, which was again giving it a little bit of a darker, duller, almost like a bass sound again. But almost giving it like a sim sound as well, so when you play it all together, it just like all adds, and it just really builds up and makes this like really nice breakdown where all the sounds complement each other. And then there's a little section here where it goes back sort of like into just like kick and bass. And then it goes straight in for when the vocal chorus starts, and then there's like a real little build up at the end of the first verse that goes into the chorus. Where I've actually where I took the chords and then I turned them into notes, and I wrote my own little melody that sounds like this. So I actually really like that. It sounds really nice, and it just gives it a real nice proper like house feel. And then on the drop as well, I've kept the chords in as well for a little bit of backing. So you've got like the chords happening, and then you've got the piano notes happening at the same time. And then there's these little like down sweeps and stuff that come in. And then just over here, I've gone back into the and then I put this little D&B loop over it, just kind of to neutralise as a little bit like a break beat. And D&B beats, they don't always sound too bad slowed down, and they can sometimes work as just like a little extra, like a little extra bit of percussion in a track. And that's why I sometimes like to use them, and sometimes I think they just give a little bit of a different vibe to putting a breakbeat in, because a lot of people would just put a breakbeat in. So some probably do put D&B loops in as well, but I just thought, you know, it just sometimes makes a track just sound a little bit different. So and then we've got the synth breakdown, and this was meant to be the bass breakdown. And then I just ended up finding, obviously, that sound that I like, and I think it's a little bit more than just a bass, but because we've got this bass as well, which is actually taken from the original track, I just kind of thought, well, do you know what, this is actually, you know, it actually just complements really well. And then we build back up, and we go into the second verse, and then we go back into a chorus, and the D&B sounds come back in. And then we build back up essentially, which I think I'm going to change this here, I think, because I'm not quite sure if I like it. So I was thinking, because if I extend this, so if I just say if I got rid of this, it would actually... If it was truly love, how would you feel? How would you know? Like that, but then obviously it just doesn't Like it works, but it just doesn't.
If it was truly love, how would you feel? How would you know?
So I mean, we could do. It's possibility. So I'll probably have a little play around with that after, and then I keep this in as well. So I haven't decided yet whether to put this in on the drops. So
You know.
so I think I'm gonna leave it for now. But you know, it's a wicked track. You know, and it, like I say, like what I really do like about it is just how like positive and happy like the piano makes me feel. And you know, if anyone knows me by now, I'm a sucker for a song that has a piano in it. And I love a real nice piano. I love a real nice synth melody. You know, for me, you know, a good melody and a real nice vocal is what makes a song for me. And this is why I love like old house songs so much, because they've got these real like just well sort of put together like famous melodies, and then they've got these real nice vocals. And you know, again, one in particular that I actually like is Pulse, the lover that you are, has a really nice melody in it, and just has a real sort of good vibe to it. And Loveland, Let the Music Lift You Up, again has like a real nice, almost like an organ piano sound. It's going like do 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 do, and it just sounds you know, just sounds so amazing. Corona, Try Me Out, again, that's another absolute classic that I did do a remix of it, and I didn't have the best vocal, so I think I might be able to get a better probably like a better vocal now. I'll have to give it a try, but but yeah, you know, everyone at the moment, they're all remixing that new Calvin Harris and that Ellie Goulding tune. And I thought, you know, I've got a massive record collection here of classic dance tunes, and I just thought, you know, I've not heard anybody remix this David Morales, How Would You Feel? Definitely not a bounce version. As a matter of fact, the only like donk stroke, like more ravey dance music, David Morales song I've ever known to be remixed is Pitch Invader did a remix of Needing You last year, and that gives a little bit of a bounce vibe, but still keeps like a feel good summer house feel to it. So you know, everyone's always sort of, you know, remixing Alice DJ, Better Off Alone, and the latest tunes in the charts. And I thought, well, you know, there's some good solid house tunes here that really could be turned into something, you know, a little bit different. And that's, you know, what I've obviously done with this tune, and obviously, you know, what I like. So I've got some more stuff in the pipeline. I've got some more ideas for some other tracks as well. So let me know what you think of this one. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, share, and we'll see you next time.